most cities on the border called the bluff of the sanctuary city. It's very easy to sit there from far away and go, we're a sanctuary city. Okay, well, here's all the people sanctuary, and then they didn't like it.
Hey, everyone. So today we have a clip from the Bill Maher show. Now, Maher was interviewing John Leguizamo when the two started discussing immigration, and a little liberal on liberal infighting occurred. So let's take a look.
Part of this is a backlash to how badly Biden handled the immigration situation. It can't just be like come one, come all, which
Dude,
it was.
There's plenty of room here, and we need
room.
There's plenty of room in America. Come on, there's not a lack of room in America.
But it's never about room. It's about resources and about like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be. I mean, they've done surveys and something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America if you could? Yes, I would. Why wouldn't they? Lots of countries, excuse me, are shitholes.
Right.
And they would love to be here. You can't
I'm not right. No, right. The places aren't shitholes, but...
Obviously, that was just a verbal slip-up, but it remains incredibly funny to me that Leguizamo accidentally agrees with Maher here that, yes, certain countries are better than others. There are certain countries that you would or wouldn't want to live in, as evidenced by the fact that the people from those countries always seem to want to leave them, or at least a sizable percentage. I think Leguizamo and Maher are probably around the same age, or at least of the same generation, but Maher styles himself a reasonable liberal. You know, he's willing to break with the tribe, he's willing to talk to conservatives, people he disagrees with. Leguizamo's defense of immigration rhetorically is sort of interesting. I mean, he starts by saying, well, there's enough room in America to fit more migrants. I mean, yes, we could, to his point, turn Yosemite into a refugee camp. We could drain the Great Lakes and build affordable housing. But we don't do either of those things because we have other priorities, or we had at some point in the past, other priorities besides fitting the maximum number of bodies into America. But let's continue with the clip.
They are. I mean, that's why they want to come.
And it's usually because of America, what America's done, especially in Latin America, has beat up every democracy that was burgeoning in Latin America. They destroyed it to keep their oil or their resources or bauxite or bananas.
Like, if you don't really have rights, like as far as like women's rights in most majority Muslim countries, women just don't have close to the rights we have here. If you can't dress the way you want, if you are in a country where there's just extreme poverty, which a lot of countries have, or if there's like the kind of corruption, and we have corruption here, of course, but on a level.
Well, we have extra new corruption with the meme coin.
But it is on a level in some countries that's way, way more.
Well, we're catching up. We're catching up.
We're catching up, but we still.
No, it's still.
But there's a reason why people want to come here, because it's still better.
But I got to tell you, I mean
one thing that stands out to me from this clip is that Leguizamo is just chomping at the bit to criticize America. Now, I think it's fine to criticize aspects of your country that you think could be better, that you think should be changed, but he's simultaneously arguing that there is a universal right to live in America, that the world is filled with future Americans who have just yet to step foot on our soil. So he does something which a lot of leftists do, which is to say, America is the worst country in the world, but also everyone has a right to live here. It's a little bizarre. He also argues that it's America's fault that all these countries that are less prosperous than the United States are less prosperous. Now, I don't totally see how that would be relevant unless he's making the argument that immigration is some form of reparation for Latin Americans and others, or retribution.
I live in a country where you can take a chicken on a bus. That was always my standard. Okay, I think I have the right to call that a shithole country, and I see why you want to come here. It's not your fault you live in a shithole. It doesn't mean you're a shithole person. But you had the misfortune of being born there, and I get it why you would want to move here.
Right, but the thing is that the immigrants that are coming here are building the country. They're the essential workers.
They are.
They're the first responders. They're doing all your construction, painting, plumbing, raising all your food, cooking all your food, serving all your food.
Kids, taking care of your kids.
Taking care of your kids. We do all the work that nobody wants to do and keeps the country going. I mean, immigrants are the life source of this country.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
Granted, I agree with part of Leguizamo's point here because he himself has contributed immense cultural contributions to this country. I mean, he's an immigrant, but he came to America and he did the job which no American was willing to do. He played Sid the Sloth in Ice Age, and I commend him for his service. But on an actual note, he has again shifted his line of defense for immigration. Now he's claiming that immigrants are necessary because they are a huge labor force. And yes, at present, illegal migrants and legal immigrants make up a large percentage of, let's say, agricultural jobs. But one could imagine that without that labor force that is willing to accept very low wages, farmers might be incentivized to either hire Americans or figure out how to industrialize the process. I mean, it's hardly a new critique of the left's immigration rhetoric, but it is true that we need them to pick the crops is a line that's been tried before. Also, I guess I'm slightly confused why these immigrants who Leguizamo says are the lifeblood of America don't inject more life into their native countries.
Absolutely, because again, we're both products of them.
Yes, yes, we are both.
We need, but what most Americans, I think, sensible, middle of the road people would say is, yes, of course, we are an immigrant welcoming country, but there has to be some order to it. It just can't be come one, come all. No, I mean, there was like video people would see of people just the border guards just looking as people or just like giant trains of people. And that's why, and then where do they go? They went to cities on the borders who then were like, you know what? If you people in New York think that it's such a great idea to let anybody in, we're going to bus them to you. And then what did the people in New York say? I mean, even the governor of New York was like, we can't take all these people. Mayor Adams was like, and he's right. It's like, these people live here, and now this is their burden to this degree. But I mean, those people,
I agree.
Those cities on the border called the bluff of the sanctuary city. It's very easy to sit there from far away and go, we're a sanctuary city. Okay, well, here's all the people sanctuary, and then they didn't like it.
Let's fix.
Maher is absolutely correct, but I think we can go even further. I mean, how about this? Every person who has one of those "In this house we believe" signs on their front lawn should be required to take in at least one, if not two or three, illegal migrants. I mean, nobody is illegal. I think that's what the sign says. And so I think this would be an incredible show of solidarity. But of course, the majority of people with these signs would never do that. And the very reason why they have the signs in the first place is to conspicuously signal to their neighbors and to passerbys that they are good people.
The immigration problem.
That's the kind of hypocrisy.
But let's fix the legal immigration, because it's a broken system. That people who've been here for 30 years can't be naturalized. That's insane. Who've been working here and giving their lives. And just fix the legal immigration. Stop creating these quotas and this blockage.
He did finally have to go back on that and say, the people who work
farms
because who does he think cleans the rooms in his hotel?
Right, exactly.
Who do you think mows the lawn
and all his
So there we go. They found some sort of liberal harmony. They had a nice laugh over immigrants doing low-wage jobs, and they'll call it a day. Now, I recall a few years back that Kelly Osbourne got in big trouble for her comments on The View. Now, she asked something like, if you deport all the Mexicans, who's going to clean your toilets, Donald Trump? But I guess Bill Maher has Leguizamo here, and being an immigrant himself, he sort of gets a pass to make these comments. But it's also pretty amusing that he suggests that the way to fix illegal immigration is just to make it easier to become a citizen. Yes, it's true that illegal border crossings and illegal residencies in the United States would decrease if we simply made those things legal, but that's like saying that the homicide rate would decrease if we simply called it unaliving. But what do you think of this clip? Let me know in the comment section below, give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.